Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will share on the research project process, typically for master's level dissertation. This research project brief provides a comprehensive overview of the key requirements and guidelines for completing a master's dissertation. It covers the essential structure, formatting, and core components that need to be included in the dissertation, such as the introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, and conclusion. The brief also outlines important information on the supervision process, research ethics, and the final submission requirements. The goal is to guide students through the entire dissertation process and help them produce high-quality, rigorous academic research. By clearly communicating the expectations and providing the necessary information, the brief aims to ensure students have the tools to successfully complete their master's dissertation. The dissertation is an extended written work that allows students to deeply explore a topic and examine different perspectives on it. The purpose of the master's dissertation is to demonstrate the student's ability to investigate an issue over an extended period of time using appropriate research methods. For most students, the dissertation represents a major milestone in their educational journey, as it requires identifying a meaningful topic, posing relevant research questions, and finding ways to resolve those questions through in-depth study. The dissertation is derived from the Latin word dissertere, meaning to debate, reflecting the analytical and argumentative nature of this type of academic work. This slide provides an overview of the key details about the module, including the level, credits, learning hours, status, and focus. The module is a Level 7 postgraduate course, typically worth 6 credits. Students can expect to spend around 120 hours on this module. It is a mandatory part of the capstone program. The focus is on independent study of an area important to the student's personal or professional development. This module gives students the opportunity to dive deeper into a topic that is relevant to their goals and interests. The role of a supervisor is crucial in guiding students through the research process. At the initial meeting, we'll clarify the research terms, suggest relevant readings, review the methodology, and establish a clear timetable for the project. Throughout the ongoing support phase, I'll advise the student on academic standards, provide regular contact and feedback, and read and comment on draft materials. In the final stage, I'll serve as one of the markers, alongside another team member and an external examiner, to assess the completed work. The dissertation format and structure typically follows a standard outline, with key sections like the title page, abstract, table of contents, main chapters, and references/appendices. The title page includes the dissertation title, your name as the author, and details about your institution. The abstract provides a brief 150 to 300-word summary of the research. The table of contents lists the chapters, sections, tables, figures, and appendices in the dissertation. The main body of the dissertation is structured into chapters covering the introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, and conclusion. The final sections include the references cited and any supplementary materials in the appendices. This standardized format helps organize the dissertation and guide the reader through the key components of the research. The introduction chapter is a crucial part of the research project, as it sets the stage for the entire work. Its purpose is to give the reader an overview of the research, introduce them to the project, and outline the key components. The introduction typically includes the research context, rationale, aims, research questions, and a structure overview. It should be written in a clear, concise, and engaging tone to capture the reader's interest. The recommended word count for the introduction is around 2,500 words. This sets the right expectations for the reader and prepares them for the rest of the research paper. The literature review chapter is a critical part of the dissertation process, as it helps establish the context and foundation for the research. In this chapter, we'll first define the context of the dissertation topic, providing an overview of the key concepts, theories, and prior studies that are relevant. Next, we'll explore the relationships between these different elements, examining how they connect to and inform the research question. Throughout the chapter, we'll demonstrate critical thinking by analyzing and evaluating the academic sources that are most relevant to the study. Finally, we'll highlight the broader frameworks and linkages that extend beyond the immediate scope of the research, showing how it fits into the wider academic landscape. This slide provides an overview of the key elements and approach used in the research study. The research strategy, data collection methods, and analysis techniques are highlighted, along with the ethical considerations that were taken into account. The tone of this section should be reflective, focused on examining the appropriateness and suitability of the research process that was followed. I'll use this as an opportunity to briefly summarize how the research was conducted and conducted a critical reflection on the chosen methods. The purpose of this chapter is to present our research findings and analyze the data we collected. We'll organize the chapter around our key research questions or themes from the literature review. The content will include data presentation, such as tables and graphs, as well as an interpretative discussion of the findings. Throughout the analysis, we'll make clear connections between our findings and the themes and questions outlined in the literature review. This will allow us to draw meaningful insights and conclusions from the data. All right, let's summarize the key findings from our research. We set out to better understand research aims. Through our investigation, we were able to insert high-level summary of findings. Some of the most valuable insights we uncovered include highlight 2 to 3 key learnings or contributions of the research. Based on these findings, we suggest 2 to 3 actions or areas for further research that logically follow from the results. Of course, this research had its limitations. In the future, we could improve by discuss 1 to 2 potential process improvements or ways to address limitations. Overall, I believe these findings provide a solid foundation to our restate importance and potential impact of the research. Let me know if you have any other questions. References are a crucial part of any academic paper, as they allow readers to verify the sources you've used and build on your work. When listing references, be sure to follow APA format exactly. This includes the order of elements, punctuation, and formatting. Appendices can provide valuable supplementary information, such as questionnaires, raw data, or other materials that support your research. Proper formatting of both the references and appendices is essential to maintain academic integrity and make your work accessible to readers. Taking the time to carefully format your references and appendices demonstrates your attention to detail and commitment to scholarly standards. The key formatting guidelines for a dissertation are clearly outlined in this slide. It covers the essential elements like font, line spacing, alignment, headers, and footers. The information is presented in a concise table format, making it easy for the audience to quickly reference. The most important points are using Times New Roman 12 font and maintaining 1.5 line spacing throughout. Proper formatting helps ensure a professional and consistent appearance for the final dissertation document. Following these guidelines is typically a requirement set by the university, so it's crucial for students to understand and adhere to them. The dissertation journey begins with selecting a topic related to your program of study. Your academic head will then assign you a supervisor based on the chosen topic. In your initial meeting with the supervisor, you'll discuss the project context and develop a work schedule. The next step is to submit a research proposal outline for approval and feedback. As you can see, the supervision arrangements for this program are well structured to support students throughout their research journey. Students are assigned supervisors by the academic head based on their research topics, ensuring a good fit. At the start, the student and supervisor have an initial discussion to agree on a work schedule and supervision plan that works for both. The supervision will primarily take place through online meetings, where the supervisor can provide guidance and feedback at key stages. Additionally, students will have access to peer support from other students working on their dissertations, providing an extra layer of support. Overall, the supervision model is designed to give students the resources and structure they need to successfully complete their research project. The key focus of this slide is planning and timing for a project or dissertation. It outlines 4 key steps in the planning and review process. Initial planning. Discuss the project context with your supervisor and develop a work schedule. Regular check-ins. Communicate with your supervisor at agreed intervals to discuss progress. Draft submissions. Submit draft chapters for feedback as you complete them. Final draft review. Submit a complete draft at least 2 weeks before the final deadline. Emphasize the importance of proactive planning, regular communication, and allowing enough time for feedback and revisions. Encourage the audience to work closely with their supervisor throughout the process. The feedback process is a crucial part of the dissertation writing journey. Let's break down the key steps. First, the student submits a chapter or full draft of their work. The supervisor then takes 3 to 5 days for a chapter or 7 to 10 days for a full draft to carefully review the submission. After the review period, the supervisor provides constructive and detailed feedback to the student. The student then incorporates this feedback into the next draft of their work. This iterative process of submission, review, and revision helps the student strengthen their dissertation over time. Ethics in research is critical to ensure the fair, sensitive, and dignified treatment of study participants. Respect for participants means valuing their autonomy, protecting their privacy, and minimizing any potential harm or risks. Informed consent is key. Participants must fully understand what they are agreeing to and voluntarily consent to take part. Confidentiality is essential to protect participant privacy and anonymity throughout the research process. Obtaining ethical clearance and approval before data collection is a vital step to ensure the study aligns with ethical guidelines and principles. Plagiarism is a serious academic offense. It involves using others' work without proper credit or attribution. The consequences can be severe, including penalties like failing the assignment or even expulsion from the university. To prevent plagiarism, it's crucial to properly cite sources using a recognized format like APA style. We can also use plagiarism detection software like Turnitin to check our work and catch any potential issues before submitting assignments. The final step in the dissertation process is submitting your work through the online learning management system. First, you'll want to incorporate any remaining feedback and finalize the content of your dissertation. Next, run a plagiarism check using Turnitin and attach the report to your final version. Then, compile your dissertation document, the declaration form, and any meeting records into a single package. Finally, upload all the required documents through the online submission system in the LMS. This ensures your dissertation is officially submitted and ready for review by the committee. Extension requests are considered on a case-by-case basis for extenuating circumstances. Supporting documentation is required to provide evidence for the request. The process involves submitting an extension application through the Learning Management System, LMS. Decisions on approval are made based on the circumstances and evidence provided. It's important to note that extensions are not automatically granted, but rather evaluated individually. The purpose of these research project sessions is to help students understand various aspects of the research and dissertation process. The content will include lectures and activities on important topics like literature review, research methodologies, and data analysis techniques. Attendance at these scheduled sessions is expected for all learners, as they will greatly enhance your understanding and skills for successfully completing your dissertation. Engaging with the material in these sessions will give you the knowledge and tools you need to conduct high-quality research and write a strong dissertation. As students, we may sometimes face challenges with our academic supervision. It's important to reflect on any specific concerns we have and identify the key issues. If we're not satisfied with our supervision, we can submit a request to the course administrator, outlining the reasons for our dissatisfaction. The academic committee will then review the request and verify the details to ensure the process is fair and thorough. Ultimately, the goal is to find a resolution that provides us with the proper support and guidance we need to succeed in our studies. The slide outlines the key steps in the dissertation evaluation process. It shows this as a vertical timeline with 5 main stages. Submission, where the dissertation is submitted through the Learning Management System, LMS. Internal evaluation, where the dissertation is assessed by internal examiners. Internal verification, where the results are checked for consistency. External verification, where the work is reviewed by the relevant university. Grade announcement, where the final grades and feedback are uploaded to the LMS. This process ensures a thorough and rigorous evaluation of the dissertation work. Supervisor meetings are a crucial part of the dissertation process. There are at least 3 mandatory meetings that must be documented. These meetings can be held via Zoom, phone, or in person. They are scheduled at various stages throughout the dissertation work. It's important to record the details of each meeting in the supervision meeting form for final submission. The final draft is the culmination of all the work you've done so far. This is where you'll incorporate all the feedback you've received and finalize the content. Once the final draft is complete, you'll need to submit it to your supervisor for final review. They may have some additional comments or suggestions. After the supervisor review, you'll need to make any necessary revisions based on their feedback. This is an important step to ensure your work is polished and ready for submission. Before submitting your final work, you'll need to run a plagiarism check using a tool like Turnitin. Review the results carefully to make sure there are no issues. The last step is to upload all the required documents to the Learning Management System, LMS, for your final submission. Make sure you've included everything needed. The ethical clearance form is a critical requirement for students conducting primary research as part of their dissertation. The purpose of the form is to ensure that the research is carried out in an ethical and responsible manner. The form covers key details such as the student's personal information, information about their dissertation project, and confirmation of approval from their research committee. It's important to note that the form must be approved before the student can begin their data collection. This is a mandatory step that cannot be skipped. Submitting the form and getting it approved helps protect the rights and well-being of research participants, as well as the integrity of the student's work. The purpose of the declaration form is to certify that the student's dissertation is their own individual work. The form includes a statement of originality and acknowledgement of any sources used. It's crucial that the student signs and submits the declaration form along with their final dissertation. This declaration is vital for maintaining academic integrity and ensuring the validity of the assessment process. This slide introduces the supervision meeting record form that students and supervisors will use to document their meetings. The form captures key details like the student and supervisor names, the meeting date, and summary of the discussion. It also has sections for documenting progress/issues, action points, and signatures from both the student and supervisor. This form will help ensure there is a clear record of each supervision meeting and the agreed next steps. The visual of the supervisor and student filling out the form together reinforces the collaborative nature of the supervision process. Completing a dissertation is a major accomplishment in your academic journey. You should feel immensely proud of this achievement. The dissertation process has helped you develop critical research, writing, and analytical skills that will serve you well in your future endeavors. Beyond the academic growth, the dissertation has also contributed to your personal and professional development, equipping you with valuable expertise and experience. A well-executed dissertation can open up new opportunities for you, whether that's further academic study or advancing your career. This milestone has set you up for continued success. Reflect on how far you've come and all that you've learned through this challenging but rewarding process. Celebrate this important achievement.